Hello, so AYN have just released a new over-the-air update for the AYN Thor, which fixes, or hopefully fixes, some of the issues that the last over-the-air update caused. So not everyone will have received that over-the-air update because they did end up rolling it back. So one of the main issues of that update was the battery percentage. It was dropping to 1 extremely quickly, and the only way to really mitigate it slightly was to do a full power cycle. So to completely drain the battery and then charge it all the way back up, which I did. It seemed to help. However, I'm pleased to report that from my testing with this new update, that issue seems to be resolved, at least in my experience. So what else is new in this update? So firstly, if I go to the AYN menu by pressing the AYN button, there's a slight redesign on this menu. Functionally, it's still the same. They've got some newer icons. It kind of pops a little bit more. I know it's all right. It doesn't really affect the overall user experience. However, some people might prefer this version. One thing I did notice, however, which I've seen has upset some people, is the background is now more of a grey, whereas it used to be completely black. So some people who are a little bit more nitpicky than myself are really upset by that. One thing I also noticed with regards to the visuals, if I swipe down, the theme has defaulted to this quite ugly light lime green, I suppose you'd call it. More like a kind of vomit green. It's not a fan, so I'll show you how to change that. So what we're going to do is we're going to head to our settings. We're going to go to wallpaper and style, and then it's defaulted to this wallpaper colour here. However, I'm just going to change it on the basic colours. I think this purple was what it was set to originally. That looks pretty close to how it used to be. So that's a quick way to set the colours back. Although I've noticed that the settings icon hasn't reverted back to that colour. So that could be a bug. It might need a restart. Not the end of the world. One of the main features that I've been utilising from this update is the new ultra dark OLED mode. So for those of you who have tried gaming at night or with the brightness turned right down, it won't really show on camera, but there's an effect that affects OLED panels called Miura, and what that is it kind of looks a little bit grainy, and what's happening is not all the pixels are perfectly black. So you kind of get this weird hazy look, and a lot of people confuse that with screen burn or burning, so it was causing a lot of distress, understandably. So what they've done to mitigate that is, if we go back to our settings, Thor settings, and if we scroll down, this OLED ultra black mode. So we'll enable it. So currently I'm on max brightness. If I enable that, you'll see that it does dim the screen very slightly, although in my experience, not enough where it would really affect me using the device. Again, this won't show up on camera. If I turn the brightness right down, it's a lot more level, so you don't get that Miura. I do believe it only affects the top screen. It's quite hard to tell at the moment. So yeah, it looks like it's possibly only affecting the top screen. So it's a step in the right direction, although personally at night, because I'm being quiet, because the other half's asleep and I don't want to wake her, what I do is I just turn the bottom screen off anyway. So that's probably the only real way to mitigate that if you are experiencing that. Another thing they've added, which personally I didn't really notice, is in the settings they've added back this home and back focus lock. So I believe what was happening was when you were pressing the back button, no matter what screen was in focus, the last one you touched, it was shifting the top screen back. So this enables the lock button. So the back button will correspond to whichever screen is selected. Not something that really affects me. I believe it was a bug, and then it got fixed and people complained, so they put the bug back, but they said it was a feature, which is the beauty of software development. That's probably the main features. I do like this new wallpaper. I think it's much better than the old kind of purpley, neon-y thing, which looked a bit too kind of generic Android, in my opinion. So all in all, the update has been fine for me. I have seen online that it has caused Wi-Fi issues. However, I've not been affected by that, or at least I've not noticed. So that is something to be aware of. There's also been reports of, if you saw my video about fixing the sound, the update has apparently broken James DSP. Although when I've tried it, the sound, it still sounds fine. They are supposedly working on a new equalizer. AYN are working on a new equalizer, which I'm assuming that is not yet ready because nothing seems to have changed as part of this. So if you do experience some issues, maybe try a restart and hopefully that fixes them. So yeah, this was just a quick look at the new update. So far, I'd say it is safe to upgrade, although if you are very cautious, then maybe hold off for a few days until more bug reports and things come out. You can always check in the AYN Discord. If you do notice any of the bugs, please drop a comment below. If you like this video, I'd appreciate a like and a subscribe as always, and I will see you next time.